Hello friend, this is Amit. Now I have a question in which we have a equation like this: curl of gradient with gradient and vector. Okay, so here we have one gradient, two gradient and one vector. So what will be that's the product of this equation? So we have to calculate this equation. So for that we can like recall the standard equation of cross product of three vectors. Okay, so cross product of three vectors. So is the standard equation of cross product of three vector equation are as below. So like three vector we can name as A curl B curl C. Okay, these are the product of three vectors. Okay, basically this equation here it's mean product of three equation, but sometimes in some question here and they can also use curl of vector, like here one curl is made. Okay, so this one is a vector quantity. So but we can use vector product tool of three vectors. So it's you can remember this equation as back cap. Okay, back cap. Through this verbal you can use you can remember this equation. Back means to be a, okay, and here C, and then minus cap. Cap means C A dot B. Okay, here there's a dot product, here there's a dot product, and the cross product of three vectors. From cross product of three vectors we get two dot products. Okay, this is the standard equation of cross product of three vectors. So you can remember this equation as um, back BAC cap CAB cap. Okay, back cap. So through this equation we can like uh, get the equation as symbolize as a gradient, B as a gradient, and C as a vector. Okay, now solve it. To get the equation we can directly put the assumption that we take as A as a curl, B as a curl, and C as a vector, P as a vector. Okay, so we can directly put these assumption on this equation so that we can get the uh, equation directly. So you can directly put it. So here B means vector. Okay, and A is the also a gradient, and P is a vector. Okay, and here C means P vector, P vector, A means gradient, and B means also a gradient. Okay, but it's standard taken that we cannot use gradient after any vector. Okay, so a standard rule used in vector calculus that we cannot use gradient after vector. Okay, and this become a vector gradient product. So here it is comes before the vector. Always remember this equation. This equations come in many different equations with formulas. They can give you this data, either this data, and ask you this one. So you you can always remember this equation to get a good grip over the vector calculus. So here this comes out to be a like this. Okay, and this comes as this. Okay, so this equations gives us the standard result which is asked in our question. So I hope you guys get me what I'm trying to give you. So thank you to stay with me.